or an hour past start time. But I'm working on practicing what I preach, that it's okay. It's not always going to be perfect. And I'm also trying to practice what I preach, staying calm. Having a hard time doing that.
I don't know where else it would be, honey. Where's the green bag?
No phones in there.
Yeah.
No phone.
Yeah, Shane's phone's in here, but we're gonna keep it in there so we don't lose it.
Your phone is
And Lila's case is in here. Shane, wasn't Shane using Ethan's phone the other day?
Yeah.
Where was he sitting?
He was sitting in the love seat over by the corner.
All right, let me see if I found my quick.
Preparation, or your mood. Let's talk about the interest. ADHD brains are drawn to things based on interest, novelty, urgency, and challenge. And so if the task that you're approaching or the doing of the task involves one of those four things, you usually don't have trouble being drawn into the task. But if interest, novelty, urgency, and challenge are not,
Want to do a live broadcast together on TikTok at 8:45 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday, ?
writing. When this happened, I could take my laptop and
Need accountability partner? ? Stop by the live. Was it in the corner by that? Was it in the corner by that table?
It was underneath the love seat.
Thank you.
But we're still missing Lila's phone. Okay, let's go up to bed, guys.
Good night. Love you. Youngest son was using oldest son's phone, which is not really a phone. It's like an iPad Touch. And it's my old phone. They're supposed to put it back in the electronics bag when they're done. Youngest one forgot about that. Dad was having a hard time keeping his cool. But glad I didn't emotionally dysregulate because everything was fine. And was about to lose my cool again because there wasn't an extra charger in there like there's supposed to be. But I found one in the bag. Yay. Today was an up and down day. The ups always have to do with my clients. The downs always have to do with my negative self-talk. Can you relate? Today is a day where I don't feel like doing this, but I keep showing it for my clients because I want to show them that we can do these things even when we don't feel like we can. There's going to be days where you don't feel like doing things, but you have to, and you can choose to do it. Today, I'm choosing to be here, even though I just want to go to bed, because I'm committed to my clients. I'm committed to you, because I want to keep showing up to help you show up. So if you're having a hard time with your own negative self-talk, you're not alone, because I've been squaring off against that all day myself. So if you're here, would just love if you could just give some thumbs up. And maybe let me know what things you've been struggling with. Because most times people just stop by, but they don't say anything. I just want to try to let people know that they're not alone. Thank you, Mom Coffee. Thank you, Doreen, for your vulnerability. Like, that's really beautiful, and that helps me to know that this time that I spend here going live doing mountains of laundry isn't wasted. So we also need to celebrate what is good in our lives. So what I'll celebrate is I realized, and I was telling my wife, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm so negative right now. I don't really know what's going on. And she said to me, hey, there's been times in the past where you forgot to take your antidepressant medication. Did you remember to put it in your pills, like in your pill boxes this week? And I literally forgot. And so like the struggle's real, because like it is strange, like just after a couple days of not taking it, how I already noticed this difference where I'm in this very negative mind space. So when people talk about not wanting to medicate, totally respect it, but also I've been feeling the negative fallout of not having that. So just want to let you know, you're not alone if that's ever something you struggle with. I want to thank our friends at Time Timer for supplying me with a timer to try to help, even despite having time blindness as a result of ADHD, because we don't realize how long things take, which is frustrating. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you for stopping by. I'm a certified ADHD coach, and I help hundreds of thousands of people around the world to manage their ADHD. I don't want to say navigate the storms caused by their ADHD. But like I always tell my clients, like they're the ones that will be able to ultimately, they're the ones that have to make the changes. Whether it's a coach or a therapist or anyone, like we can help give perspective, but we are not the ones that can actually make the change for the clients, obviously. And sometimes I feel like all this effort that I'm putting in doesn't really matter, but many of my clients today, without me saying anything, reassured me how powerful it is for them and how important it is for them to have the space to show up and be able to be vulnerable and be able to be authentic. So if you don't have a space to do that, you need to join the digital community. It's free. There's other paid options where you can be part of video calls also. That's what we had today. So for $11 a month, you can come to 2 video calls, which is just an absurd value. And I want to help more people, but I need you, if you're hearing this and you're struggling, you actually have to book a call, or you actually have to join the community so that I can help you. What's hard for me to hear is when people send me DMs and say, like, I'm really struggling. I'm like, okay, join the community. And then they still don't join the community. Like, I can't help you. I can't help everyone through DMs. Like, I need you to be in the community so that we can have group settings where we can go through this stuff. And I'm just feeling a little, a little dysregulated because Andrea, my wife, she's going to be joining us here in a few minutes. I supported her so that she could go out with her friends tonight, which I'm absolutely happy to do. But what really frustrates me is how, like, when it's just dad, like it feels like I'm incapable of getting the children to go to bed. And Andrea asked me, like, hey, what can I do to help you while I'm not here to, like, get the kids to go to bed? I'm like, I don't know. It's really hard for me. I don't know what to tell you. Try my best. Anybody else struggling out there? Would love to see in the comments, what's going on so that maybe we can try to help you too. Chemical imbalance. Yep. Suicide, my son, ADHD, getting divorced after 1 year is a part of ADHD. So the suicide part, did somebody do that? Yeah, getting divorced after 1 year, absolutely ADHD is a factor. Cross Brown, Corey Fensel in the house over on TikTok. If you're not following him, make sure you're following him. He's got incredibly valuable content he's putting out. He's following the call on his life. Faith over fear. Want to thank our friends at Spindrift for being a future sponsor of this. I'm speaking it into existence. But if you haven't hydrated, make sure you hydrate. That's important. Our brains need that. And what I need is to hear some good news. Some good news about what's going well in your life. So feel free to share that in the comments so we can celebrate each other. In the meantime, I'm making my way through this mountain of laundry, one piece of clothing at a time. And I say this every week, but honestly, like, doing this laundry with everyone here, it's a great lesson, a great reminder to me that it's like life with ADHD, because here's what our task lists look like. But yet, at the end of the day, at the end of this session, when the buzzer goes off, this pile will be gone, everything will be put away, and everything will be fine. And I'll be able to go to bed so I can wake up and play basketball tomorrow. So that's, like, when you have ADHD, it's like everyone else. Like, we have to show up just like everyone else does. We have to take action. We have to figure out which things in the pile of tasks are the ones we want to go after. And here's what I'm going to say. All right, I just found 2 socks. They match. So right now, I take these, put them together so I don't have to find them later, put them in the drawer. That task is totally done. And it feels great. Manifest it. Thank you. Massage tonight. There you go. Timer. You see it? Oh, Nylon Seattle. Great to see you. Nancy Pounders is here. Deborah's here. Welcome, everyone. Coming to you live from tropical Cleveland, Ohio. Would love to know where you are at. In case I'm just wondering, do like a number 1 emoji if this is your first time ever being here, because it's always fun to know where people are from and if this is their first time or not. Let's get the socks. DJ, In the house, also from Cleveland, Ohio, specifically Fairview Park, Ohio. Great to see you. He's got even more children than I do, so I'm guessing he might have even more laundry than we do. I'm happy he's here. And if he stays long enough, I literally guarantee that we will have a Limitless Minds shirt somewhere in this pile. So I'm still repping it. One task at a time, one thing at a time, making progress towards our goals. That's how we do it on Folding with Friends. That's how I do it with my clients when we're coaching. And people are seeing big results. One of my entrepreneur clients is launching a new company powered by AI. Really proud of him. What wins can we celebrate with you, though? Okay. Cleveland, now Seattle. Body doubling. Yep, love it. Hey, Claire, miss you too. How are you? Let's hear some good news from you. Claire, we should get you to come back to the community calls. We'd love to have you if you'd like. That's up to you, obviously. Getting some support. Thank you, sir. Great to, thanks for stopping by. Great to see you. Your love is received. Kara says getting some storms in Michigan. Claire said things are. Cat Mom is here too. Hey, and thanks for following me, by the way. Oh, Doreen says yoga, or Doreen Tanner's mom says yoga is so helpful. Tell us more about that, because I believe you. I just want to hear more about it. The Amelia is in the house. Oh, good. Things are stabilizing. Would love to have you back. For those of you who are not aware, I offer both one-on-one and group coaching, depending on what your needs are. Group coaching is hands down my favorite way to deliver coaching, though, because it's just magical to see the connections that people can make. In fact, this was pretty cool. Today, during a group call, had someone join who had never joined before, and then one of our current clients was there, and the new person who joined said, "Hey, is your son's name, what was it? I think it was Eric or something. I think I was in the same fraternity as him in college." And sure enough, it was the very same person. So that was pretty cool that they connected through my coaching call. But more importantly than that is some of the breakthroughs that people had, where they were able to share some of their struggles. Many people could relate. And the format of the calls is we talk about how we're feeling so that we can, get in better touch with our feelings, basically. And then we celebrate the positive things that are happening. We talk about the struggles that we might be facing, and then what are the actions that we would like to try to take to make progress towards the goals. Towards the goals. So by the end, every person on the call has something tangible that they plan on working on. We had a new client who joined the group coaching call today, and it was the first time she had ever been there, and she admitted to the group that she struggles with clearing the clutter in her room. So we talked about, the group asked, and I asked, what do you want to try to do about it? And she had a kind of a cool approach that was ADHD friendly for her. She said that she'll put on an episode of a show that she has commercials in it. So the reward is having the show. And then when it gets to the commercial, she says she'll run around like a crazy woman and clean up the clutter. And that just like me having the clock going here, that urgency is so important to keep pushing us. Had another client who, for the first time, started using the Pomodoro method. Can you put a tomato emoji in the chat if you are familiar with the Pomodoro method? And then let me know if anyone understands why I would ask for specifically a tomato in this case. But the Pomodoro technique is spending 25 minutes on a task and then taking 5-minute break in between to reset. Okay, we got 40 minutes left. Is anybody else working on anything right now? The guru's here. Roxanne is here. Ramon Vega, calming and center. I don't do yoga. I'm not against yoga, but I would love to do it more often. Thank you for loving the sunglasses. They're my blue blockers. During college, you did restorative yoga, and I honestly miss it. Oh, nice. Yeah. Spiral Hawk is here. What does it have to do with a tomato? Claire asked. Cat Mama's grocery shopping. Nice. Don't let me distract you. So Pomodoro, I want to say it's like Italian for tomato, but then they create this Pomodoro timer, which is like the shape of a tomato, and that's what got it popularized. So like the official Pomodoro timers are literally in the shape of a tomato. Has anyone else been getting fruit flies in their house? Man, talk about a struggle for ADHD. I'm working on trying to find that timer you have on the chair. Wait, Paul, we have a link for it, by the way. I can send it to you. Okay, Claire, glad it's not just me. Thank you for your vulnerability. Not the only one dealing with fruit flies. I think I can get Paul, I think I can get you a discount through the link. In fact, here's what I'll tell you to do, because I'm definitely going to forget about it. If Amelia's here and if she has that link, I'm maybe send it to you that way. But also you can go to my website, which is ryanmayercoaching.com, M-A-Y-E-R coaching.com. And I have a resources, and there's like all the different affiliate codes that I have. I only put things on there that I use myself and or things that I know are really helpful for those with ADHD. So feel free to check it out. Yeah, a lot of gnats. Where's the wife tonight? So she was out with friends. She went out for a dinner. She just got back and she was wrangling the children to get them down to sleep. And then usually she goes so hard during the day that if she lays down for even a few moments with the children, it's game over. So chances are I'll have to go wake her up here in a few minutes to see if she can join us. But yeah, that will definitely make things go a little faster for sure. Good for her. Glad she is taking time for self-care. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely support her in having time to be out with her gal pals from high school. They still stay in touch and are very close. Andrea, and a fun story, Andrea and I actually met at her best friend's wedding because I was friends with the groom. She's best friends with the bride. And as Andrea likes to say, we met on the dance floor and we haven't left. We met on the dance floor and we haven't left since. And a fun fact about Andrea and I is that including that wedding that we met at on October 17th, 2009, we have attended over 80 weddings together as a couple. And we're adding on to that total this Friday. We're ending the drought. Okay, now that I'm done with that basket, stay with me. I'm just going to pop upstairs and see if she's going to be joining us. One moment, please. Talk amongst yourselves, even though you can't talk. Can't make this up. I wish I was making it up, but she will not be joining us because she's currently removing silly putty from our daughter's hair. Our daughter apparently thought it was okay to play with silly putty in bed. Who hasn't played with silly putty in bed? But yeah, so she needs a little more time, unfortunately. Okay, we're not quite ready for kids' clothes, I just realized. So, we'll put these back in. Come back to that in a few moments. But that's okay. You know what? I like the challenge. I like the challenge of beating this clock, beating the timer. We can do this. So in the meantime, I am here. I'm here to help answer any ADHD related questions that you all might have. After all, I am a certified ADHD coach. We're getting ready to ramp up. My marketing team was just talking about running our once a year sale for our text message based course, how to find work that works for your ADHD. So if you are either in a job that you're not too happy with, you're looking for a job, or even if you just want to get better, get closer to the best version of you, you can sign up for this course that we put together, which took us better part of a year to get together. So we worked real hard on it. And so basically it takes my 10 to 15 years of experience in coaching and boils it down to a 10-day course with interactive exercises, audio files. It's pretty cool. So feel free to give that a shot. You can send me a DM. Let me know if you're interested, or you can email me. Let me know. Callers are, the team members are standing by, waiting for your call. Not really, but if we had them, they'd be standing by. We're making progress. What's everybody else working on right now? I know Cat Mama was doing some grocery shopping. How about everyone else? What are y'all working on? Any other people trying to slay the laundry monster like I am? Yeah, okay. Doreen Tanner's mom asks a really good question. Amelia just got the number 2 gifter badge. Thank you. DD Wildflower says, I have a sofa full of laundry right now. 2 days. What's the 2 days? All right, good. Amelia, right now she is folding laundry too, so that's fantastic. Oh, it's been there for 2 days. Well, that's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's a judgment-free zone. But do you want to take a couple of articles of clothing off of the couch and put them away? I'm going to get back. Good. Amelia says she's doing laundry. That's great. All right, so back to Doreen Tanner's mom's question about why is divorce common for those with ADHD? Well, it's because lots of reasons, but essentially we hyper focus, those of us with ADHD, we hyper focus on the things we are interested in. There are times where we'll get very interested in a project, for example, or the latest planner, or a certain show. We binge watch the show or something, or games on our phone or whatever. But then we may lose interest in those things. Well, I'm sad to say, but it's true, that can also happen in relationships where we will mask our ADHD tendencies. They don't show up because we're genuinely really excited about the relationship. It's new, it's exciting. We bring a lot of passion and a lot of creativity and thoughtfulness into it. And then fast forward, it's like 2009. How many years is that? 17 years. Wow, 17 years ago? That's crazy. So fast forward 17 years. Well, there's not a lot of new or interesting things. I go live on the internet every Tuesday to fold laundry. It's a lot different. So as a result, like whether it's 1 year or 17 years, there can be a misalignment of expectations, because those of us with ADHD, we can set the bar really high for ourselves by just going above and beyond, doing all these thoughtful gestures during the courtship period, and we're able to be on time and do all the things that one would expect. And then all of a sudden, when marriage comes along and the honeymoon period, the dopamine high has gone down, now it's like, oh, well, here we are. This is the real me, by the way. It's hard for me to do mundane tasks and I run late to everything. And they're like, wait, what? And toss in there pretty much every symptom of ADHD is not very conducive to happy relationships. Emotional dysregulation, challenges with time management, like getting lost in projects, not following through, forgetting to do things, and it all comes across as you don't care. It's like, no, I do care. I just forgot. Like when Andrea comes home from a nice night out with her girlfriends and the kids are not asleep yet, and they were supposed to be asleep 2 hours ago, it's hard for her to understand, why can't I get the kids down? Why does she always have to do it? And it's also just as hard for me to try to explain, why can't I do it? Thankfully, Andrea and I are both fully committed. We're in it to win it. And she's an incredible support for me. Now, don't misunderstand. She definitely irritates the living brains out of me sometimes, because I always feel from the flip side, like I'm always getting pushed and prodded and questioned and it's like, geez, just leave me alone. But she'll, she's pretty much always right. And that's true. That I'm saying that she's usually right. But that a lot of times I tell her, hey, it's not what you're saying, because I agree with that. It's just the way you're saying it to me. And I'm very sensitive about this stuff. So it's hard for me to hear that feedback and not get defensive, even if I know that you're right and I'm wrong. So you can imagine how that can lead to some challenges in relationships, in marriages. Amelia, maybe make a note on your Post-it note. We should look up stats on the frequency of ADHD marriages that end in divorce, because I want to say it's dramatically higher than the average, which is already way higher than it probably should be. But anyways, so I hope that helps, Doreen Tanner's mom, to give you some insight. If not, happy to elaborate more if I can. But here's one thing I can tell you without a doubt. Almost every one of my clients, male or female, I'm going to say especially males, we tend, if we are the ones with ADHD, if we are the ADHD impacted partner, or no, if we're the ones that have ADHD, we tend to have some kind of struggle in our relationships. And I will also say that sadly, most of my clients that I know who are have been married are now divorced. I mean, that's just straight up. Oh, you already did. Great job. Okay. Anyone have any ADHD myths that drive you nuts? That's a great question from Amelia. Kate the human is over on TikTok. She said, I mean, I can't find a wife in the first place, so I don't really need to worry. Now, Kate, you deserve to have someone. And I already know just the fact that you're part of the neurodivergent tribe, that you're an incredible person. You're an incredible human, Kate the human. And you deserve to have someone who loves you for who you are. And I also want to say, so I don't need to worry. Yeah, okay. Do you still believe that you can find a wife? Because I think you can. Okay, we got 20 minutes left. We're now onto the kids' clothes. Nearly onto the kids' clothes. That's another thing that I absolutely consider part of my job as a coach is to encourage my clients and to help give perspective to say, hey, I think you might be being a little hard on yourself. Like a lot of times my clients hold their own selves to this unrealistic standard. You know what I mean? Oh, you're welcome. Dee Dee Wildflower says, I need real answers to some things, like what steps to take. Okay, where are we at? Oh, let's see. Why does ADHD cause social anxiety? Oh, yeah. Okay, I can help with that. So Dee Dee, help me first to understand. Maybe you're asking for a friend. No, I'm just kidding. Like what causes the social anxiety for you? And I can absolutely tell you how I think the ADHD could play a part. But Amelia, by the way, everyone, Amelia is on my team and does an amazing job. So she's jotting down these really good questions like, how does ADHD contribute to social anxiety? Tried to get the fruit fly, missed it. Now I have a handprint on my mirror. Deal with that later. And the feelings of rejection. Okay, we can start there. So the feelings of rejection, they are caused by something, phenomenon known as RSD, which stands for rejection sensitivity dysphoria. So what that means, basically, is we bruise a lot easier than others do. So Wildflower, Dee Dee, what I would say, think about the definition of euphoria, like feeling better than we should about something. Like, for example, when I make a networking connection and I connect two people who can be beneficial, like who can help each other with something, and it was only because of me that they were able to get connected, that gives me a sense of euphoria, like more than it should. Like, so that's euphoria. So dysphoria is the opposite, where like when my wife has some constructive feedback to share, it feels almost painful. And I usually, it usually puts me in a bad mood. And like, it doesn't make logical sense why I get so upset about it. but it's because of how our brains are wired. And it's not surprising when you think about it, because we've been getting told our whole lives, you're doing it wrong. Like, why did you do that? I don't know, I didn't mean to do that. Well, you did it wrong. Sorry if that was triggering. Even me just like pretending to do that made me feel certain. But anyway, we've been told we've been doing it wrong our whole lives, so we're just always afraid that anything that we say is going to be taken the wrong way, or we're going to be, we're going to upset someone, and it will be like totally unintentional. So of course, there's going to be some anxiety, or there could be. It's not a surprise that there could be some anxiety there. Like, I really hope I didn't upset that person. I have a client who was messaging me just yesterday about, like, well, I think I just ruined another friendship. I'm like, well, what do you mean? Well, I'm wondering where the person is, and I've been asking them, and they say, and they didn't reply back, so I asked their friend, where's this person? And then the first person got mad at me because I was asking, and they think I'm annoying. So it's like, I refer to it as fingerprints of ADHD. Like, all the symptoms of ADHD contribute to it. Like, this person my client was like hyper focused on, like, well, why aren't they answering? Like, why can't they just reply back? It turns out the person was out of cell phone service. So like, once they got back into service, now they get flooded with messages from my client. Where are you? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. So we can sometimes be a lot. We get fixated on things. But then there's also the fact that our working memory has a hard time holding on to things. So if someone says something, we want to let them know that we relate to it. But if we don't comment at that exact moment, we're afraid we might forget about it. So we just blurt out the thing. Like, before we can even think about it, like, we're already talking. And then we might get the feedback like, hey, you're like interrupting me a lot. So that can lead to social anxiety. I had a client asking me about that. He's like, hey, do you have any tips? I have all these suggestions and ideas when I'm in a group, but it's not always taken the right way. So my suggestion to him, because he was looking for real steps, real suggestions, I said, totally get it. You don't want to lose that thought, and you want to let the person know that you can relate and you have an idea that might be able to help them. Instead of talking over them in this virtual group setting, what if you just sent them a little direct message in the comments, like in the chat feature of Zoom, instead of saying it in front of everyone and like interrupting? And he's like, I never thought about that. The very next day, he sent me a screenshot of him doing exactly that, like talking to the person in the side chat, and the person was like, thanks, great idea, I'll definitely look into it. So he was just beaming. But hopefully I'm giving you some, like, why social anxiety. And another thing is, there's that people joke around about, shiny object syndrome, which I only say that because people have heard it. I don't like that phrase because I think it kind of pokes fun at and makes fun of those of us that have attention challenges. But anyway, we have a lot of friends and family, people that are important to us in our lives that we may have let the relationship slip because maybe we, repeatedly took too long to reply back to text messages, and so the person just said, like, screw you, I'm not gonna keep doing this, like, you can't even answer my messages. It's like, no, I already answered it mentally, and then I redid it 10 times, but I can't explain that to you because you won't understand. So you'll have social anxiety because you're afraid you're going to do that again to someone. So it's like, well, is it even worth trying? Are these making sense? Hey, Kate the Human, thank you. Thanks for sending those gifts my way. You, me, we, ADHD. I love that. Love that. What a great username. All right, Dee Dee, thank you for saying that. It makes sense. Let's see. And the feelings of rejection. Okay, good. What else can I do to help you, Dee Dee? I want to make sure I can give you some tips. Oh, thanks, Amelia. Amelia put in the Instagram chat the link to a blog about RSD. Hyperfocus makes you a good salesperson. Ooh, see, there you go. So Doreen Tanner's mom. Doreen Tanner's mom, would you mind telling me, like, what is your name? Because I keep wanting to call you Doreen. Is that okay if I ask you that? You, me, we, and ADHD, can you tell us more about what you do? Because now I'm interested. You're the shiny object. Okay, we've got less than 15 minutes. We've got to hustle. We can do this stuff. Hold on a minute. Another thing is perfectionism. So right now, I'm overcoming feeling of perfectionism. Because usually it's like, oh, this has to be perfectly folded. You know what? We're not doing that. Because done is better than perfect. One of my newest clients, in fact, we were just talking about perfectionism. Even just to get her to sign up for coaching, she said, oh, but I've been talking to these other coaches. I'm like, you know what? To me, it doesn't matter who you're talking to. I just want you to pick someone. Because from what you've told me, you struggle with perfectionism. And I'm just letting you know, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. This coaching isn't going to be perfect. We're going to make messy, imperfect progress together. And I can guarantee you that. But what I can also guarantee is that if you keep avoiding making a decision, you're just going to keep being stuck and paralyzed, because like all of these coaches can help you, but you have to make the decision. You have to pick one. So if you're going to pick me, and let's work on it for, give me 3 months for us to work on these things you said you want to improve on. And if I can't help you, I won't be offended if you go somewhere else. I just want you to get support so that you don't have to keep trying to do this yourself. Because that's the old definition of insanity, right? Trying to do things the same way over and over again, expecting to get a different result. And then the kicker is that we're really mad at ourselves when it's the same outcome every time. It's like, well, why are you so surprised? You did it the same way. That's like something I still battle, even happened today. Like, I want to be more realistic about what can actually get done in a day. But what I don't take into account is when I haven't gotten enough sleep, that I forget that by the mid to late afternoon, after a day full of phone calls, like being fully present, hyper-focused on clients and supporting them, I'm just like, my brain is mush, and I'm like, I just need to lay down. I ended up taking a nap this afternoon because I couldn't think. I had a headache. I've been staring at my screen all day. Like, you know what? I just need to lay down, and I'm glad I did, because I was like, I forget what the word, not cathartic, but I just couldn't do anything. I was like, so anyway, point is, at the beginning of the day, I'm like, yes, I can conquer the world today. And then by 2:30, I'm like, what was I thinking? I can't conquer the world. I can't even conquer my desk. Papers everywhere. But that's okay. Just what I tell my clients is the very first step, and arguably the most important, is having this radical acceptance of like, hey, you're not going to work, your brain doesn't work like everybody else's. And it's going to be annoying, and frustrating, trust me, I know that. I live it every day. Yet you can still be successful, but we have to go about this in a very strategic way to like work with our brain instead of always fighting against it and losing. Oh man. I'm only laughing because I still struggle with this. But the reason why I got into coaching and why I offer it and why I go live every week to talk about it is because I know how hard this is. And other people who don't have ADHD, they don't understand. They just don't understand. They think we should just be able to magically focus on the things that we struggle with. One of the best definitions of ADHD I've ever heard of comes from Dr. William Dodson. And he said, like, what makes ADHD so challenging and what's so misunderstood about us is that it's not that we have, like, the name of our disorder is a terrible name because attention deficit suggests that we don't have the ability to focus. We can't pay attention to something, which couldn't be further from the truth. It's not that we have a deficit of attention, it's that we have variable attention. So that's why Dr. Ned Hollowell calls it variable. Instead of ADHD, he calls it VAST, variable attention stimulus trait. So back to Dr. William Dodson, he says, the difference is between neurotypical and ADHD is that a neurotypical person, if they need to focus on something, like let's say, for example, taxes. Like no one likes to do taxes except for accountants or my one client who used to work for the IRS. But the point is, everyone knows they have to do it, and it can be a boring task for a lot of people. But a neurotypical could say, I don't like doing taxes, but I know I have to, so here we go. I'm going to do my taxes now. Those of us with ADHD, that's not really an option. We can't just say, we should do this now. Let's get started. Like, it is physically painful, and we get stuck. So what I tell my clients is, if you're getting stuck on these things, figure out where you get stuck, and then you and I can brainstorm ways where you can like overcome that obstacle. You can work around it. So like me being on this live with you right now is an example of a way that I'm not accommodating, but acclimating. No, can't think of the word right now. Advocating? No, but it's what we're doing right now is I'm giving myself the support of doing this while on camera, because that means I'll actually do it. Whereas if it was just me sitting here and my phone wasn't going live, I would probably get sucked into checking social media. And then Andrea would come in and be like, why is all the laundry still here? I'm like, sorry. So I just know that I have to have this on, my mouth has to be moving, and that will allow my hands to also move and do the mundane task. So with taxes, what I would say is get an accountant, get a money coach, get somebody. We have people we can recommend. But the point is you have to have external support in order to get these things done. Okay, last basket. Can we do it? No, we will do it. Oh, good. It's mostly towels. All right, 5 minutes. Come on, team. What's everyone working on? We can do this. Doreen says, I hire it out for my taxes. Yes, you got to do that. Well, my spouse is successful overachiever, and I feel so undisciplined watching from the sidelines. Dee Dee, I hear you. I can relate in a big way. However, I'm wondering, let's look at the positives for a minute. What are some of the the strengths that you bring to the relationship. Because I think that it's easy to focus on what's not going well, what we are not good at, but we can also focus on what we are good at. Because there's probably some things that you do, Kate, or Dee Dee, sorry, that you do that your spouse is not good at, that you might just overlook. So let's hear it. Yeah, Doreen. Oh yeah, maybe you answered. I pick you, Ryan. You're amazing. Oh, thank you. You research your competition, every detail, so I'm prepared and you shine. Oh, you are Doreen. Okay, cool, good. Hyper focus makes a good salesperson. Yes. Doreen, would love to chat with you more, by the way. I think we would get along great. Doreen, by the way, there is a book that I'm listening to right now. Do you ever, have you ever heard of or checked out the work of Jeffrey Gitomer, Gitomer? He's got a bunch of books, like the little yellow book, the little black book, the little red book of selling. It's a lot of times it's of selling. I'm listening to the little red book of selling right now, or selling success or something like that. It's so good. It's read by the author and he's hilarious, but he's just got some really good practical tidbits. I'm taking notes as I go along, so would love to share those with you if you'd be interested. And if I knew I was sharing it with someone, then obviously, just like with my laundry, I would probably do a better job of keeping up with it. That's another thing we leverage within the community and with the group coaching calls. I assign accountability partners. So like we had 2 group coaching calls today, and then I assigned accountability partners during the call and got the partners connected. And now it's up to them. And like, obviously they can bring me into it as well if they need to, but they work with each other to keep each other on task. And then when they come back to the group coaching call next time, they can report back on how they did. So getting external accountability, getting partners who care about you, who want to check in and support you. And then we have for the community, we have an area in a WhatsApp chat where you can share what you're working on. So then the whole community can help keep you accountable too. There we go. Yeah, there you go. I just forgot about me. I'm creative, smart, and you just struggle. What's up, priest? Tell Mark you say hello. Wait, Mark who? Remind me. Yeah, ADHD are great salespeople. Absolutely. Like I tell my clients whenever I'm talking with them, I say, when I'm talking with you, you are my world. Like I am hyper focused on serving you. And I really mean that. And they can feel it. And just having somebody to talk to who can relate, who gets it, like, yep, I know exactly. And now, you know what? It's easy for me with the timer going off to be like, oh, I'm a total failure. I didn't meet the time I lost. Guess what? It's all about perspective. Because first off, I did this whole thing alone and I almost got it done. And I'm still almost finished. Like I'm actually quite close. So when Andrea comes in from untangling the silly putty from our daughter's hair, yikes. I will be able to proudly say, hey, look, I'm almost done. But yeah, I was just talking with a new client yesterday and was relating on a deep level with the challenges he was facing. Hey, I think I might hear Andrea coming. You get to see her in her beautiful floral dress. If she's able to make it in. Sounds like she might still be battling with children out there. So I'm going to put it out there. Earlier today, both our daughter and our youngest were sleeping. Like when they got home from grandma's, they fell asleep. And I said to Andrea, don't you think we should wake them up? Because when they take naps, they have a hard time going to sleep at night, as we are seeing here. But she said, no, just let them sleep. But I think we can't do that because then they're not tired enough at night. That's the problem. Unlike Dad, who, despite taking a little power nap earlier, I am absolutely ready for bed. Hey, if you're just joining us, just want to say thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping by. I want to let you know that you are amazing just the way you are. And that I appreciate you spending some time with me. I'm wondering, where are you tuning in from? I know we're here in tropical Cleveland, Ohio. I think our oldest might be having a night terror or something right now because I'm hearing some screaming, and he's usually asleep. So God bless my wife for all the things she's handling up there right now. But I know that she wants me to get this done. So I am not abandoning my duties. In fact, this is what she would want me to complete. So it's actually hard for me to not go run in and try to help. Because that's more, that's exciting. Like, oh, because ADHDers, we do really well in urgent, emergency, chaotic situations. That's where we thrive. Because that's where we can be hyper vigilant, right? Like to Doreen's point about how, we make great salespeople because in those like high intensity moments, we can stay focused and notice a lot of things that other people wouldn't be able to. So our oldest is the one who has ADHD, who struggles a lot with it. And sometimes he will wake up in the middle of the night and just, like I hear him right now, he's like screaming. I have no idea what's going on. Like he went to sleep and everything was good. It could be our daughter, now that I'm listening closer. It might be her because of having silly putty in her hair, that she and mom are battling it out. I don't know what is happening, but I will find out as soon as I'm done with this pile of laundry. But in the meantime, hey, we've been here now for over an hour, I think. Have you all been making progress? I know Amelia said she got some stuff put away. I know Cat Mama was getting grocery shopping done. We're here every Tuesday, and as long as it's a quote unquote normal schedule, like pretty much where, if Andrea is here, we can get the kids down. We try to get here at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. It usually takes us, about 30 to 45 minutes typically to get the laundry all finished. So if you've been delaying on any tasks, you can mark your calendar and you can come and hang with us every Tuesday evening while we're doing our laundry. If you want to make that your laundry night where you're folding and putting stuff away, excellent. Or if you have some other task that you want to work on simultaneously while we're doing ours, we love being your accountability partners. Yeah. I think I have to put this in another basket here. I'm hearing just like, what is going on upstairs? And I want to thank Amelia for sticking with us too, if she's still there, for seeing, because I can't pay attention to all of the comments and also do the laundry at the same time. So that's what's another nice thing about having Andrea here, is that I can pop up to the chat and see what's going on, but when it's just me, I want to focus on getting the task done. I'm very intrigued in which child is that's making all this noise. I think it's our daughter, but we will see. And that's what happens when you get silly putty in your hair. Kids at home, if you're listening, don't bring silly putty to bed with you. It does not have good results. All right, everyone, last pair of socks. And I'm like, I got to get up there and help Andrea because what is going on up there? Feel free to follow up with me and ask how things turned out. I will let you know. Okay. Thanks for being here. Amazing we can all sit still this long. Yeah, seriously. All right, Dee Dee says, I'm going to look more into RSD and work on that. You're tired of feeling it. And Dee Dee, again, feel free to book a call. I just want to say that to everybody. I'm here for you. My team is here for you. The call is totally free. I just don't want everyone to have to go through this alone anymore. Hey, Franny. Hi, you're new. Thanks for being here. We're here every Tuesday. I'll be doing laundry, and if there's stuff you want to work on, would love to have you stop back. But for now, I'm going to go check out what's going on upstairs and what I can do to help. Love you all. I believe in you, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you. Gotta go.